Crypt of the NecroDancer. So, let's start. Crypt of the NecroDancer is an indie project by Brace Yourself Games, which was released in 2015 and immediately won its audience. What is NecroDancer? It's a rhythm game with rogue-like elements, where we need to produce in the beat of the music absolutely all actions, and in the case of that, start the full level again. The story of the game starts with Cadence, our protagonist, going to NecroDancer Crypt to find her father, who disappeared her some time ago. Armed with a shovel, she tries to dig a tunnel inside, but there's a trouble. The ground under her collapsed in the fall. Cadence injures her head and ends up dying, and already listening to the songs of the angels she had prepared for death, when suddenly NecroDancer appears. The treacherous villain steals the girl's heart and, at least resort, leaves a terrible curse, so that life does not seem like honey. Now Cadence can only move to the beat of the music, but this does not prevent her from beginning the genocide of all undead in the dungeons of Necro-Petimaker. You fall into the role of Cadence, armed with a shovel, dagger and bombs. You go to rescue her father, passing level after level. All the control in the game are just 4 buttons: up, down, left, right. Easy? Yes. No. And later you will see why. The first thing that catches your eye is pixel graphics, but the game doesn't feel old at all. More gives the impression of something stylish, unusual, because the design of absolutely everything is done on the set level, and you don't want to pick on it. The second thing your eyes are drawn to immediately is beating heart at the bottom of the screen and some sticks flying from both sides. This is the main basic of the game. The sticks are the rhythm of the music. You only need to take action when they are hitting your heart. In this case, the rhythm will be respected and the action will be considered successful. In the process, the rhythm will change based on the music or gameplay features, such as tapping on the declaration plate. So why keep to the rhythm? Here's one thing. All the undead disco dungeons also move in rhythm, so you need to keep them on the same wave, otherwise you will catch sudden ventures or just the characters will start to be stupid. In both cases that, if you keep the pace of the game, the ground bends, your feet turns into the dance floor. Flashing with colored lights is great to and notice if you have not strayed from the rhythm. And if there is even one misfire, then the epileptic dance floor is gone. Do not think that you play as a helpless manzel. No, in the game you have a lot and often have to mob the musical undead. All you have to do is make an action towards your enemy. There are a lot of monsters in the game. Really, a lot. Skeletons, bats, dragons, minotaurs, ghosts and other graveyard creatures. They all have their own patterns of behavior. When they see you inside, they immediately begin to act. Skeletons, for example, always walk straight ahead, so it's more reasonable to attack them from the sides. Assassins attack only from the back, so if you turn to face them, they will get cold feet and retreat. Again, sounds easy, doesn't it? Just memorize your enemy's behavior and attack. Now imagine you go into a crypt and on your way, nightmare horse, a skeleton, a couple of ghosts, a doppelganger and traps steal all sorts of things. The music has gone off, you have to act fast and you are trying to frantically remember all the patterns of the freaks. But you don't have to walk around with a knife and a shovel on dragons. The game has a system of clothing and consumables. All the good we can get in chests, boxes, barrels and hiding rooms, so I advise you to dig in suspicious places. Of clothing we have armor of variety quality, from leather to enchanted armor, boots that allow you to cross obstacles in various ways, magic rings with useful effects, magic scrolls of spells, helmets and most importantly, weapons. We use weapons to kill anything dancing and undead faster and more effectively. The selection of different slashing and cutting weapons in the game is astonishing. rapiers, two-handed swords, maces, lashes, and other delights of medieval devices. All weapons attack in different ways. A two-handed sword, for example, strikes 2 squared forward, and the lash is able to catch enemies as diagonally. And since we can choose our own weapon, it also randomly falls from the chest, so we have to learn strategies for playing with different weapons. As thought you know, this is one way to get the weapons you want. At the levels there's a merchant, the significant grandfather, holds so much that sometimes you won't find him. Not so much to get the horse, but to listen to his delightful vocals. This merchant always has 3 random items for sale, so if you are ranked up enough gold from the mobs, he'll gladly give you the item you want. In the game there's a hub location where you can customize and pump the hero. From the hub we also choose what level we will be. On location we will come across characters, and if you release them, fulfilling certain conditions, you get a valuable ally. For example, by discovering the blacksmith Hefus or magician Merlin, you will be able to buy items that may happen to be in the chest, and a dungeon master can sell you permanent upgrades that don't disappear when you die or re-enter a level. In your hub everything is bought for a diamond, which you can find in the logs or digs there, but after selecting the next level they will reset to 0 and it's better to spend them immediately after passing. However, my advice to you, don't overuse buying all sorts of garbage, because you don't want to have a useless ring instead of sword or armor in the only trunk on the level. By the way, the more you buy the things and level up, the harder the level become. We can say that you yourself complicated the game, buying improvements, so during the first pass with the minion of pumping, I had only 1 mini-bosses where asshole bats, which are passed at once or twice, pumped up and went to the first level. I was waiting there for ghosts, banshees and dragons. If you want to train on the bosses or work of spaffing with a regular mob, the hub presents Persians, who will organize your trial battle, a useful thing. After all, more training, less death. Speaking of bosses, each level has 3 floors, in passing which you will meet the leader of this dungeon. All bosses are unique and have their own area with a certain condition of victory. Visually too, they are something delightful and musically directed. So for example, you can meet here death metal with a microphone stand in the form of the skith, or King Congo and deep blues, who will impress you to death with their musical and visual style. It's worth mentioning the characters and customization. In addition to cadence, you can choose other characters with their own weakness and advantages. So for example, by unlocking Ellie, you can completely change the gameplay, because he can't attack in close combat, but he has endless supply of bombs that he can throw at your enemies. Playing as Ellie turns into a kind of Bomberman. I hope you saw the bird of the sun and remember the kind of the game. Persons are many, they're all different, and we pass the game in different ways. With different conditions is just nice, while the variety of gameplay has never hurt anyone. Each character can change the look if the old board. The stand skins for the characters is enough, but if you suddenly will not enough, the game supports custom modification. The same goes for the music. If you are not satisfied with the standard track, you can choose your own music and NecroDance to it. To sum it up, Crypt of the NecroDancer is an example of how to make a simple game, because it does not get bored, and the variety in it is enough to hold the interest for a long time. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you.